And hello there, each and every one of you out there on the YouTubes. This is Temierus here with Damned Hours. That game's finally decided to start working. So let's take a poke around of what it is all about. Now, I have already attempted to take a poke around it, but because this game is very adept at not telling you diddly squat, I kind of figured that needed a bit of a do-over because it was like 20 minutes of just wandering around trying to figure out what the hell you're even supposed to try and do. From everything I can tell, what you're supposed to do is wander around an apartment with a monster crawling around in it who's turning on light switches. And then you're supposed to turn off the light switches. From what I can tell, that is literally the gameplay. I'm still trying to figure out what some of this is all about. Cat, shush. Little asshole. Yeah, you heard me. I also did it without a controller because I did not have my controller on me. This game, though works on a keyboard, you can tell it is quite clearly not made to be on a keyboard. So we have a flashlight, and it's a terrible flashlight. What is with horror games and not understanding flashlights?
Okay, so I feel the need to have to interrupt the game here just to point out a certain fact. Right now we are looking at pitch black. We are in my very messy basement, and I shall now turn on my work flashlight. And as you can tell, the work flashlight very much illuminates the room. Now this is it on its wide beam setting. I'll even humor us and focus in on the lens because I can do that. I have a focusing flashlight because it's fancy. So even when we get the pinprick of light, we can still see the area around it. Why? Because that's how flashlights work. They are sources of light.
Well, at least we don't have to pick up batteries for it, I guess. We picked a knife. You'll have to excuse me for a moment as I just figure out what all the controls are on the controller. There's not many controls, I'm noticing. But yeah, so like I had to pick a knife before we went in here. I've yet to see a knife. The game's very dark, annoyingly dark. Why is right trigger the run button? Remember to have all the lights off before starting. Right. You have to turn off all the lights so your monster can come around and turn them on. Oh, what fun. By the way, that thing on the table that's moving his head around, I'll turn on this light so we can see what it is. This guy right here. This little stuffed dog that just follows us with a head. I have not been able to figure out what his purpose of even existing is. But it's there. And it's a thing. So now we have all the lights turned off. I can basically not see anything right now. Because YouTube loves to darken the videos, you'll probably be staring at a black screen with maybe a little bit of blue poking through. Not really sure. So, what they didn't show on the shelf in there in the little starting area is, but when you do this, you're completely invisible. Um, you customize the stuffed bear by choosing its color and its name. And as far as I can tell, the plot of the game is to take that bear, drop it in a bathtub, summons a monster that then is annoying with the light switches. Because I guess why the hell not? I think it's nearby. Yeah, there he is. The monster is bare bones animated. And as far as I can tell, we have no capacity to try and fight it. Well, I think we're already going to lose. So yeah, the game has a... I should probably run to... The game has a lot of fail conditions. And that basically seems to be all it's about, is fail conditions and jump scares. Yeah. This knife here. See, I have to choose a knife. It's a select this weapon. I have selected this weapon. There's no way to use the weapon. So we are wholeheartedly defenseless in this self-inflicted problem. This woman here. See? And I don't really know why she's doing any of this. The game is basically just set up of, here's a thing that we didn't really necessarily tell you how it works. Do the thing, because why not do the thing? Because I don't know. That's a very big beef I have with the game, is that it has you do the mechanics of the game just for the pure sake of doing the mechanics for the game. As far as I'm aware, there's nothing to be gained from not dropping the bear in the bathhouse, in the bathtub, and this person just living out their life. There's no real reason. The store page keeps saying it's about Japanese trials, but even then, the Japanese have reasons to do things. I don't see any reason about the only other... So pretty much the only other reason I can think of is since this person has no food, and let me find a sink. This game does absolutely love motion blurring and just slowing down like crazy. There's a sink. There's a sink. So she has no food, and the water's been shut off. So perhaps she's going for an elaborate suicide. That's about all we can figure out. Alright. There is an interesting thing, though, because like at that start there, when the thing just slides along the ground at us, making noises, that's only happening now in this recording. Before, that didn't happen. You just sat there in the hallway silently for a bit, and then eventually it gave you a loading screen. So I guess the game doesn't always make up its mind when it wants to do things. It just kind of does them. So let's give the light switch game one more go, I guess. And then after that, I'm probably just going to be bored to tears. But that's really the big thing, is that it's just so boring. We can't get to a hidey hole. There's a hidey hole, the table. And we are now 100% visible. I heard a click, but I don't see where it is. So there's the badly animated monster. You can now see why I say it's badly animated. And as far as I can tell, right now, I see no way to actually be able to accomplish our objective of turning off light switches, because he's just right there. Sourceless noises. Okay, that's always fun. Not in there. Alright, we're dead. We're dead, boys and girls. It also, before, didn't have the jump scare of when the lights were left on. So, yeah, that's a horror game about turning off light switches with a monster in there. I honestly don't know if it wants to be a horror game, if it wants to be a stealth game. If it wants to be a horror game, well, I guess it has jump scares. It's apparently what horror games are. Jump scares, darkness, and terrible flashlights. And if it wants to be a stealth game, it's not a very good stealth game. So, yeah, I am just bored to tears of this. If it seems like it may not be boring to you, and there's a lot more levels, I'm never going to see what they are. It's like $5. So do that what you will. I'm not going to keep playing this.